how good this C63 coupe is.
Apologies for the interruption, sir, but there is a priority alert.
No problem, Jarvis. What's up?
The new vehicle you requested has arrived from Audi Sport.
The new R8 is here? Well, in that case, let's go take a look. Why does this damn helmet never fly off? Ah, a new toy. Check this out. It's the brand new Audi R8 Facelift. But we crave the stats, we need the stats. Jarvis, give us the stats on this car.
Sir, this model features updated design, tweaked suspension, and an increase in power to 611 brake from the natural V10 engine.
So still that great engine, probably the closest thing on the ground to wearing the Iron Man suit. So today, guys, of course, we are focusing on this brand new facelift Audi R8. And we're gonna do that by paying tribute to two heroes, one on the silver screen and one on the road. And it all began 11 years ago, exactly in May 2008, when that fateful union between Iron Man and the R8 began. And it was, of course, the first time in Iron Man 1 when Tony drove in with that gorgeous R8 4.2 V8, the first generation of the R8, in a stunning silver finish in that trailer. And the R8 took the world by storm alongside the first movie from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, the reason that the R8 took the world by storm is because a mid-engine supercar that was affordable was a rare thing, and an Audi supercar was even more unheard of. This car caught the big boys of the supercar world sleeping. It had better design than any supercar of that time, yet it was affordable, it was capable, it looked amazing, and it was inextricably now linked to a superhero. And you cannot deny the allure that the R8 had because of that introduction with Tony. Now, of course, we've seen it with cars in movies before, how Bond has always propelled Aston Martin, even through difficult times, in becoming a successful brand because of that link. And that's why the R8, because it shook the market when it came, everyone wanted it. It didn't matter whether you were an avid petrol head, it didn't matter if you loved Audi, it didn't matter if you were more of a Merc fan or a BMW fan, you wanted the R8 because it was disruptive, it was capable, it was just that kind of supercar. And it all started with Iron Man 1. Then in Iron Man 2, of course, Tony got the roof chopped off, and then came the R8 Spyder. Now, what we lost in the design with the side blade disappearing, we gained, of course, in oral character via the brand new V10 that was shared with Lamborghini going in there. And of course, you've got a bit more luggage space as well, as Tony proved in the movie. Skip ahead to Iron Man 3 and perhaps the rarest one of them all, the R8 E-tron, a fully electric concept version of the R8. Now, of course, an E-tron was eventually produced in the second generation of R8, but it was a very limited car with only 100 units and only sold in Europe. And I think this car is probably the closest one to Iron Man's actual clean tech being a completely clean car. Skip forward then to the Ultron incident, and debuted to the world was the V10 Plus, the car that we're reviewing today, its predecessor, and it was really now nipping at the heels of its Lamborghini Huracan cousin, with that V10 now producing upwards of 600 brake horsepower, yet in a package that was so much more usable daily, with more interior space and that signature Audi technology and quality. It's just one of the best R8s that they've ever made. Now, of course, he didn't forget the Spyder from this generation either, little known to a lot of people. He actually had it in the first outing of our friendly neighborhood Arachnid, and in fact, it was in Vegas Yellow as well. Now, skipping to present day, in Endgame, we were all hoping that Tony was going to have another R8, specifically the facelift that we're looking at today, but that wasn't the case, and instead, we got another cool car, which was Audi's concept of the brand new E-tron GT, a four-door, fully electric GT car. That's what Tony turned up in. He gave Cap his shield. Now, I get it, right? I get why they chose the E-tron instead. It's as Audi has said themselves, from that point in 2008 when they wanted to realign their brand to be seen as more technological than any other brand, the union with Ironman allowed a realigning of their corporate identity to reshape how they look to customers in the future. And that's what they're gonna do now with the e-tron. Already my Instagram comments were flooded when I posted the R8 saying, but hey, Tony now drives an e-tron. So Audi's plan is working, very clever indeed. And of course with films now, this is kind of the way that we're going, with Bond now driving the new Rapide as rumored in the new Bond film. I was wrong about him driving the DBS. Why? I mean, what's next, guys? Are we gonna have like a electric Batmobile?
Yeah, Commish. Yeah, it's Batman. The Joker got away. I couldn't find a damn DC charging port for the Batmobile.
And now, of course, let's have a look at the facelift itself. Now, as we mentioned earlier, thanks to Jarvis's help, there's not a lot that's changed in terms of power, so I want to talk about the design. Now, Audi have brought a little bit of design from their past cars. Notably, you'll see these three slats, if we talk about the front end first, these slats here, and these link to the 1984 Sport Quattro Group B rally car. You can kind of see those in the front there. So it's a nice little link to their Quattro heritage there. Apart from that, the first thing you really do notice is the Y shape on the air intakes here, which are of course not real air intakes on the side anyway of the Y. These ones are real, and these really give a they remind me a lot of the Huracan's facelift, which is a bit awkward considering how similar the two cars are, right? Apart from that, you've also got these black gloss vents here near the lights, just like you do in all of the new Audi sport models like we saw in the RS4 and the RS5. It's all par for the course of the modern Audi sport car at the moment. The wheel design is completely new as well. Of course, you can change the trim of the side blades and whatnot here. And if we look at the rear now, the rear has changed a little bit as well. The rear bumper is quite a bit more aggressive, and you see the big carbon rear diffuser. Of course, the wing is as it was before, and you get the massive exhausts on the rear, which really do suit the character of the V10. Overall, quite an edgy facelift, but it is really just a facelift. Now, I mentioned those three slats earlier. They also look like what you see in the Audi GT3 car and the GT4 one, kind of linking more to their motorsport. And Audi have said that this car shares 50% with the GT3 car, 60% with the GT4 car, thus making it the most linked car to motorsport on the road today, according to them. But what does the future hold for the R8? There's not really been any news of a next R8 model. Now, of course, for all of us, that's a sad fact. But maybe it's a good thing as well, because this car has now hit a peak. It's never going to be diminished or undermined by a smaller engine. It's going to go out with a bang with that gorgeous V10, just like Iron Man, at the top of its game. But maybe it will be rejuvenated one day as a proper R8 E-tron fully electric supercar. I'd love something like that because it links so nicely to the whole Iron Man concept as well. And it could just be one of the best looking electric supercars out there. But we cannot deny either way the impact that both of these heroes have had, not just on the petrolhead world and in the movie world, just generally. They are some of the most entertaining and exciting things to be around. And we love you both 3000. Now guys, what we're going to do today is celebrate the R8, why we love it, by driving it really fast and hearing that gorgeous V10. So let's go and do that now. There we are on the road. It does make you feel superhuman, the R8. It's really hard not to want to just access that V10 immediately when starting the car. It's just such a brilliant engine. So what have Audi actually updated in the facelift? Well, we've been through the looks extensively, but as far as the actual technicalities of what's gone on, there hasn't been a lot done to this V10 performance compared to the previous V10 Plus. So basically you've got another 10 horsepower on top of what you had previously. So you're not really going to feel 10 horsepower in something that's producing 612. But as I've said in reviews in the past, it's nice to have a little bump always for a new model, just psychologically speaking for the buyer. They've also updated the suspension, but only in terms of geometries, nothing in terms of compression, rebound, spring rates, etc. That's all the same. But this might be one of those times where really do you need to change that much from the original R8? Still is one of the best cars that Audi have really ever made. So easy to drive, so easy to have fun in. it's just one of the most perfect and complete supercars for daily use. Now you're probably thinking, how good does this car sound? It does sound very good, but unfortunately it does not sound as good as the pre-facelift. Simple reason for that is the inclusion of the exhaust gas particulate filter, which is killing sound in every performance car across every brand, and there's really little that the brands can do about it. So I was expecting that, and I don't mind a reduction in volume. What I do mind, and I found it in my C63S that I just got delivered as well, is that the pops and bangs that were in the previous R8, if you check our last review, have all but completely disappeared. So if I come off the throttle, there's nothing there. You know, that's at 8,000 RPM. Similarly, when downshifting, nothing. You just get a scream. Now, when you're actually driving fast and you're pushing the R8, I don't think you really miss that as such. It's more when in the past you could kind of play it like a musical instrument, get it to sound the way you want it to. Now it just screams. It's more kind of, you know, F1 car. So you have very, very slight pops and bangs, almost indiscernible. And that's what you're left with now after the EU laws have basically destroyed the sound of every manufacturer. For a sound junkie, it's a real shame, but I'm not going to dwell on it because you've still got a lovely V10 naturally aspirated engine back there, and it sounds damn good when you're driving fast. So I really wanted to ask the question, if not that much has changed, what makes the R8 so good anyway? Well, there's a lot of things that make this car special to petrol heads. And with this particular car, I think the first thing, as we touched on, it has to be the engine, doesn't it? This V10 naturally aspirated unit, it's just so exciting. It's so great to drive fast. And really, this is one of the last big engine naturally aspirated cars that you can get, and it's at the price point, and it's got the availability of still something that is attainable to your average petrol head. It's not some limited special edition. You can walk into an Audi dealership and you can get a car with this engine. Why is it good that it's not turbocharged? Basically, you get no lag when you want power. So I can put my foot down here, even at 80 miles per hour, and it will apply the power immediately. There is no lag, there's no need for some hot V setup or something to reduce the lag like you have in turbo engines. The other thing about the engine is it's a mid-engine setup, which allows for this gorgeous design. And of course, being mid-engine, just the way that the weight of the car is then distributed between the front and the rear automatically gives it just a wonderful balance. And because of that, this car, having that kind of engine, with the position that it's in, with the looks that it has, it's really a rarity in today's market. The other bit then, of course, is the Quattro system. Quattro is Audi talk for all-wheel drive, and it just gives you unlimited grip in this car. So, for example, let's just put our foot down. It's a really sunny day today, so you're kind of expecting that, but you can replicate that in the wet, in the snow, whatever you want to do. This R8, thanks to the Quattro system, will give you the power whenever you want it. And it makes driving this car very, very easy, very, very safe. Then you've got the handling aspect, and look, I'm not going to say it's the most epic handling car in the world, etc., but the Quattro gives you so much grip, and I think they have improved a bit of the steering feel on this. It's a bit closer to kind of the RWS, oh, I'm feeling the G's here now. Okay, yeah, it's a tiny bit understeery on the limit, but it is so fun and so easy to drive really, really fast. It makes you feel superhuman. Thanks to that mid-engine position, you just got a lovely weight ratio. It's just very, very fun to drive fast, and as soon as you're done cornering, you apply that power, and nothing else is going to give you grip like that out of a corner. The other thing about the R8 is just how usable it is daily, so you can do all this kind of fast driving stuff, or you can put it back into its comfort mode, and it really is one of the most usable daily supercars in that regard. And again, we cannot discount the effect that this car has had alongside Iron Man on pop culture and how we all look at Audi as a brand in general. I think you got to attribute a lot of the popularity and the success of Audi to the link with Iron Man. Whenever I'm driving an R8, the appreciation, the looks, the kids who look at the car, the nods you get from your fellow petrol head. There's not really a lot of cars that garner as much love as the Audi R8 does. It's got those Iron Man looks on the road as well. You know, I can't get out of my head how the eyes of the current car look like his helmet. But if this is the last R8, then the auto industry would have lost one of its modern icons, and I will be very sad indeed. Either way, both of these heroes will live on in our memories as the ones that started a revolution in their respective worlds. Both brilliant, loud, confident, stylish, and capable, and we love you both, 3000. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that tribute to both the R8 and Iron Man together with Audi. Please do like and subscribe and share this video if you did. And as always, I'll see you again next time.